Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, Battle for the 2DS, confronting entitled thieves and protecting an innocent child. The second story, Fighting Injustice, quitting my SH job and taking a stand against manager. The third story, A whistleblower's revenge shakes the foundations of power. The first story is EM and EB tries to steal kids' Nintendo 2DS in Pokemon game. EM, entitled mom. EB, entitled brat. GM, good mom. IC, innocent child. Me is me, obviously. TL is team leader. CO is coworker. My mate as well. P is police. I work at Tesco Express, mainly late night shifts. 3 till 11 at night, and I'm quite comfortable with it. The shop I'm working at is at a seaside resort with a lovely beach, and is quite a lovely town. I rarely have problems with these, but to be honest, I think anything can happen when working with the public. It was nighttime, at around 9ish. I was working on counting the scratch cards to see how much money was made during the day, when I noticed a woman and a child was coming into the shop. The child was wearing what appeared to be football clothing, including football boots. I can only guess that he came from practice or something. At the same time, he was playing his Nintendo 2DS XL white and orange model. The women approaching my till and asked me if we sell any ibuprofen. I told her yes and pointed her where they were located. At the same time, I noticed the kid was playing Pokemon, either Alpha Sapphire or Omega Ruby, and I asked how many badges he has. He said 3 with a lovely smile, and went with his mom to get some. Immediately afterwards, a mother and her son walked in the shop. Their eyes were gazed upon the woman and child with hints of narcissistic stare on the mother towards them. She approached my counter. Me, what can I do to help? She cuts me off. EM, that child there, was that a 2DS that flips open? Me, yes, why? EM, did it have Pokemon on the screen also? Me, from what I saw, yes, why do you ask? EB, that's the one. EM, right, okay. Leaves and follows the same way the other mum went. Quite bizarre to be asked those questions, I thought to myself, and immediately became quite concerned. While doing the scratch cards, I kept my eyes and ears open towards them. I see the EM and EB walk toward the mother and child and said, EM, is that a white and orange 2DS with Pokemon? IC, yes. EM, it belongs to my son. GM, no, I bought it for my son. We just got it from Amazon. EM, my son's 2DS was stolen, and yours is exactly like his as well as his game. EB, that's the one. GM, just because your son's device was stolen doesn't give you the right to take others. Plus, what proof do you have? EM, that's the exact same one color, and I know what my son's looks like. Even the game itself. Now, are you gonna give it to him or GM? You're not taking anything from him. EB, he's got my Alpha Sapphire. I realized this was going to be a problem. I rang the bell for other staff member to help. The moment I exit my counter, the EM had pushed the GM to the side and was trying to steal the IC child's 2DS. At the same time, the entitled brat was doing the same thing, but pulling his head and hitting him. The IC held it tight but was crying in pain from the EM digging her nails in the poor kid's hand, just to get him to let go of the 2DS. I immediately ran towards them and grabbed both the entitled mum and child. I put my arm around her neck and grabbed the back of the EB shirts, and pulled them away from the IC. I put a bit of distance from them and then pushed them away from me. I now stand between them and the IC. Me, what do you think you're doing? EM, that belongs to my son. Me, what proof do you have? EM, looks directly at IC. Listen here, you give my son that 2DS or you'll effing regret it. EB, it's mine. The EB tried to rush past me to get to the IC who was crying his eyes out. I quickly stopped him by grabbing his shirt. At the same time, the EM rushed and tried hitting me. I grabbed one of the women's arm while the GM grabbed the other's arm and was basically punching her face. EM, let go of my son, you effer. At the time, the TL and coworker arrived and restrained both women from hurting each other anymore. TL, what the F is going on here? EB, he attacked me. EM, yes, and he was protecting the thief that stole my son's game while I was shopping. She was clearly lying to the TL, trying to make it that the IC had stolen the 2DS from his EB while they were shopping. Me, he came in with a 2DS in game. How could he have stolen the game from your son when he and his mom came in the shop with it first? EM, you attacked my son. You'll be effing sorry for that when I get the police. I explained to my team leader alongside with help of GM and IC that the EMs was trying to steal the kid's 2DS, while at the same time hurting him badly. We also realized that the AC had some pretty bad scratches on his hands and was bleeding. We also had CCTV, and we asked him to check the footage. TL grabs first aid kit for me and for GM to help treat the IC wounds, while he goes to call police and check CCTV. GM and me began treating the IC scratches and trying to clear his tears. EM: why are you helping him? GM: oh, shut up, you cow. EM tried to charge her, but my friend held her back. EM: you shut up. I should have broke the little SH's hands. EB: he stole my Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Friend and me got a bit curious about this and decided to examine the kid's 2DS, and we made a huge discovery. It was Pokemon Omega Ruby. Me: you said Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. EM: yeah, it's my son's favorite game. Me: this is Pokemon Omega Ruby. EM: so? Me: it's a completely different version. EM: it's the same thing. Me: no, it isn't. EB tried what we didn't realize until then, was he went around the shop floor to get to the IC, while we're dealing with EM. The EB tried to snatch the 2DS, but IC had the strap on him. I grabbed shirt and dragged him away. He then started screaming and was kicking my ankles, but I managed to restrain him. EM: stop hurting him. CO was still holding her back and EM couldn't do anything. I took the EB toward her mother and held him tight, so he wouldn't try anything again. At the same time, EM begins biting my friend's shoulder and was forced to push her away. I got really peeved off at this cow and shouted at her. Me: you assaulted a child, falsely accused him of theft, tried to steal from him, and you bit my friend. EM: I don't care what you think. You assaulted my son and assaulted me. If you're not going to do anything about it, I'll effing trash this shop. CO: not gonna happen. You're a complete loony. EM: wanna smack? She pulls one of her fists up and threatens him. My coworker is no pushover. My friend is a bodybuilder and at the same time competes in muscle shows. He's basically a gorilla, but he was wearing a jacket that covered his muscles. He wasn't taking any crap anymore, so he took off his jacket to reveal the muscles on his arms. CO: you really wanna effing go? EM realized she made a big mistake, made no more threats towards my coworkers. The police arrived in some time and EM went towards them and began screaming. EM: arrest them. Police: wait, calm down. EM: the staff assaulted me and my son and they stole my son's 2DS and won't give it back. Police: okay, calm down, come with me. EM: no, arrest them now. The effing lunatic and they stole my son's 2DS. Arrest them now. Police tried to calm her down and warned her about shouting. She was then escorted towards the police car while we had to talk to the other officer about the incident. We showed them the CCTV footage and the damage the woman has done to kid and the bite mark on my coworker's shoulder. Safe to say we had the evidence for the police to arrest the women for assault, theft, and false accusation. Thanks to the police as well, the EB was taken as well. I haven't received any harm or damage from that crazy woman, but the IC was basically in tears. Me and my team decided to treat the kid with one of the toy magazines. He picked the Pokemon magazine, as well as a few goodies. The second story is, quit my SH job yesterday. D, it feels good to be a gangsta. Okay, so each week we as servers have BOH cleaning duties. We're supposed to do 3 to 4 each week. I just recently picked up another job Monday through Wednesday, so I've only been working weekends. I forgot my cleaning duties one weekend. Whoops, definitely my bad, but have never done that before. So I got signed up for not only 6 of those chores, all of which were gross and time-consuming, but I also was directed to scrape gum off the bottoms of the tables by our D passive-aggressive I work in a local restaurant but have been corporate my entire career manager. We'll call him McDearton. The other weekend was 4th of July weekend, so we were slammed and I didn't have time in my Friday and Saturday 3:45 shifts, nor my Sunday double. Fireworks and we have a patio overlooking the river in our city. Busiest day in weeks. Really to do my assigned cleaning chores, especially because the other slackers servers sign up for the easy ones throughout the week before I can get to them. So I'm left with chores that take 15 minutes plus to complete and or are disgusting. So I still did them all except one, which was that I forgot to detail the staff restroom downstairs, which was effing nasty. On Sunday because our restaurant got completely slammed, and even the other volume and I were there until late. We didn't leave until 30 minutes before the closers were done. Our kitchen closes at 10 on Sundays. We were there till 12:30. Generally at this place you'll get out around 11 as one of the dinner volumes. Granted, yeah, I should have done it whatever, but I definitely got peeved when I got suspended from working this coming weekend as a consequence. That was Saturday when McDearton told me I would be suspended. I had had a headache all day, was pretty tired of his SH already, just pretty passive-aggressive BS, just be an a-hole to me, you moron, and I knew I was getting sick. I get sinus funk pretty regularly. I mean, he is passive-aggressive in the sense where if he's mad and you're ready to check out, then he will take his sweet 20-minute effing time to come check you out even when it's dead. So Sunday brunch, which other than the third last Sunday have been effing dead, because our restaurant is so hot in a 100-year-old building, has been dead the past 2 weeks. He tells me, I need you here. It's too bad you feel sick. I'm like, I'm on the way to the doctor, so I'll have a note. And he tells me to come in anyways. I didn't show up. Then after I quit, he texts me telling me he'd made a mistake on my checkout and accidentally paid me $64 when I actually owed $64. So he's asking me for $128 back for his mistake. Sorry, McDearton, but you can pay for your own effing mistake, and I'm going to order myself a pizza and buy a bottle of vodka. F the injustice. I'll miss all the awesome people I worked with, but I'll get a better job somewhere else. Also, F you, McDearton, that's all. The third story is, got laid off due to suspicious reasons, got both CEOs fired. I'd been working for this game studio for more than 10 years. A few years ago, it was bought by a group company, but the CEOs kept their independence in leading and decision-making. The bosses were always more or less authoritarian and paternalistic, but the pay was alright and it was really convenient for me because my husband also works there. We were both very efficient, with unique skills for our department, but he's way more appreciated, be it for being a man, be it for being more diplomatic than me. With the recent advancements in AI, the CEOs rushed to ride the wave of AI-generated game content and ordered us to use Stable Diffusion for anything and everything, and to buy the premium version of ChatGPT with our own money. They told us indirectly that if we didn't follow the orders, we'd be let go. Very illegal here in Europe. They wanted us to use ChatGPT for 1 hour daily outside of work and report at the meeting the following day. I silently refused to buy ChatGPT, but did ask the HR what would be the consequences of not buying it. He said he didn't know of any. Yet I dug deep into Stable Diffusion, despite my dislike of using it, and made a thorough guide for the others to use. I even shared my findings with one of the bosses who was constantly keeping an eye on us. Meanwhile, the CEOs promoted AI content to the group directors and promised them very high quality and quantity for a reduced amount of working hours. That wasn't really achievable, so they put more and more pressure on the whole team, even making some of the people come to work on Sunday. About a month later, the group company made a poll regarding our satisfaction at work, and seeing the answers were anonymous, I shared my discontent with my boss's behavior. Another month passed by, and I, and 2 more colleagues from my department, got suddenly laid off, in the middle of a few very busy projects, with nobody to cover for us. I got told the group company ordered the staff reduction due to reduced amounts of work. By the end of the day, I had to finish what I'd started. Being in shock, I did, and all my accounts got suspended and deleted. After 10 years, the HR didn't even approach me directly. He first called my husband and told him the news, and asked him to keep it from me. He then basically warned me not to sue, and showed concern that the layoff may cause turmoil between me and my husband. WTF? On the next day, CEO 1 called my husband to ask him whether he's bitter I got laid off, because they don't want to lose him, and explained to him why I was one of the chosen ones. The group company had apparently showed them the anonymized answers to the poll and scolded them, so the CEOs suspected me of being the whistleblower. I found it cumbersome and useless to file a lawsuit or report to the labor inspectorate, but I did use the whistleblower platform of the group company and asked them for the reasons of being laid off, while further describing the studio's attitude toward me. I haven't yet received an official answer to my report, but I got the news that last week the CEOs had to unexpectedly cancel their vacations because the group company representative had come to the studio and had them both fired. This was way more than I expected and just made my day. I hope you love these stories. Subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching and have a good day.